Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our model building video. That being the Metal Gear Rex building kit that everyone voted for, and I'm more than happy to build because I was actually really excited to build this one. And also, I'm a Metal Gear nerd, so this just falls right up my alley. Last time we were here, we went ahead and built what I presume to be Rex's feet. We got those done, but now we're going to work on the little spiky bits that come down to let him kind of stick into the ground. And I figured also for these videos, I would just kind of start talking about things revolving around the gaming world and whatnot, and also, what's new, essentially. So, with that said, before we get into it, as always, if you lads and lasses enjoy this channel, content, and my doofiness, likes, dislikes, bell icon, and comments all help the channel tremendously, getting out to YouTube's algorithm, allowing us to grow as a channel and as a community, and I appreciate your help, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You guys are all awesome. If you guys want to come hang out with me, link description below for the Discord. But with that said, if you guys could also be so awesome as to subscribe as well, that'd be fantastic. But enough of my ramblings, let's get back to why we're here. So what we are working on now is this piece right here, which is like the feet. I thought I kind of goofed with the spiky bits. Oh, I didn't realize where the camera was. I thought I goofed with these because they actually had like kind of pointy bits at the end, and I wasn't sure if I did it right. I literally just had to slide them into this bit, and we're good. But as for what's new in the world and what's going on, a couple of things of note. So, topics I'd like to get to tonight is the announcement of the new PS5, the PS5 Pro. Ubisoft calling for their CEO to step down. And there was one other one that I can't think of at the moment. Nope, got it. And also a leaked build of what Advanced Warfare Call of Duty was going to look like. So, I guess to start off with the simple stuff, Call of Duty. So, many of us played Advanced Warfare. We know what was there. I just lost a piece. God damn it. Okay, there we go. So, what was announced, or not announced, but what was leaked was a build of Advanced Warfare that was initially called, what was it? Some people were calling it Call of Duty Phantoms, but then it was also Sledgehammer, I think they also referred to it as. So, whether or not it's one or the other, I'm honestly not sure because, again, it's a leaked build. And honestly, from what I saw of what they had for the campaign, once again, like a lot of these leaked builds, it looks like they got a lot of it done. Now, I don't really know what was going to be the major difference or where the story was going to really take place. I think the first mission, it was always going to be in North Korea. The first mission that I saw with the build was you were operating in North Korea, but for some reason, you were going after a nuclear power plant, and you and your team were dead set on shutting them down. I don't know the key points of said mission. I don't know if there's any greater story towards North Korea that was just a set, like the set piece to kick off the story. But it seems that they were always intending on the main character losing his arm. Now, in the, I guess, Call of Duty Phantoms build, what changed was rather than us going up to a missile launcher to save our friend and losing our arm in the process, what ended up happening was our character was trying to, I think, deal with a nuclear reactor, and the reactor goes off, and the building comes down on top of him. Then your buddy runs over to save you, to pull you out of the rubble, saying you're going to be okay. And come to find out, I'm sorry, I'm a little sweaty. Come to find out that you lose your arm. Very much the same animation of your character being dragged out, and as you're dragging, you see your arm left behind. That's essentially what happens in this. So that whole scene was always going to happen. So in terms of, I guess, the premise was always going to be essentially the same. Starts off in North Korea and all that. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, it goes like this. I'm confuzzled because... Wait, is this not going to go... I am kind of confuzzled right now. Also, I mean, what kind of screwed me too was the fact that... What was that? Is that a snappy bit? Oh, I was going to clip that. Oh, I almost goofed up. So hold on, let me like... Oh, wait. I might have goofed on like all four of them. Because There's a little bit here at the end. I was supposed to go the other direction. Because then this is supposed to slide in like that, and then the spike is supposed to come out that way. I was like, huh, why does this look different? Oh, shit. I'll get back to my story in a minute. Let me try to fix this. Okay, see, that's how it's supposed to go. So, thankfully, I can actually fix this. It's not a major issue. It's just really annoying, these tiny bits. Really annoying. It's also, gotta have like a decent grip on them, because I have no grip whatsoever. Trying to use one part to push out another. But yeah, apparently this build is also available for download. Which I did manage to download. I'm thinking about playing it for the channel or playing as much of the game as possible for the channel. Though I don't know if YouTube is going to have an aneurysm over that and be like, oh my god, it's pirated content. You can't play this. And it's like, bro, come on. Come on. They're not selling it. It's not really pirated if they're not going to make any money off it anyway. But anyway, I digress. Other than Call of Duty, as I've said, Ubisoft investors, I believe, are calling for the Ubisoft CEO to stand down. Now, why is Ubisoft in such a deep hole that their CEO is basically being outed? There's a number of reasons. So for one, let's start off with the more well-known issue, one of the more well-known, or more controversial. I believe it was the CEO or someone within Ubisoft saying something to the tune of, gamers need to get used to the idea of not owning their games. So gamers' response was, Ubisoft needs to get used to the idea of people not buying their games. Unfortunately, as we go forward, there is this constant push by companies to go ahead and try to keep us from owning our games, which is really annoying, to say the least. So that's one issue right there. So people are already not happy with Ubisoft as it is. Oh god, okay. Getting very annoying. Come on, it's the last one. But yeah, people aren't happy about it, to say the least. So that's one issue. The other problem is that there is the current ongoing situation with new Assassin's Creed. Coupling that with the fact that it seems like a lot of these games nowadays are failing these AAAs because they're trying to push politics into it, and nobody's really happy about that. Okay, cool. Got that in. There we go. That's our spiky bits. Got it. Anyway. So yeah, for lack of a better word, people are not happy about this. So, the whole thing with Assassin's Creed is just kind of falling apart at the moment. People are not happy with Ubisoft. They're not happy with the way the direction's going. Hell, it's so bad that the Japanese are pissed. We're gonna put it that way. The Japanese are pissed. It's getting to the point where more and more is coming out. At first, it just started from how is this historically accurate to now the Japanese being pissed, being like, yeah, you're misrepresenting history, at least Japanese history. Come to find out that Ubisoft's research into this controversial character, who I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to talk about, because YouTube is kind of little woke. Japanese are pissed, to say the least. So the research that they did on this controversial character, well, it turns out that it was based off of some dude, I think from some dude who's American who moved to Japan, based off his research into the character. But the problem is, his research was from, he made basically a 300-page book from 3 pages of Japanese history. So somehow, some way, he managed to write history in a sense, in a way. He took 3 pages of history and just said, cool, here's a novel, and now apparently it's politically correct, and that's where all of Ubisoft's research into the character came from. It's literally 3 pages of 3 pages of Japanese history that weren't even from a Japanese person. And I think I did this backwards. No, there's these stupid little pegs that don't really go in right. But anyway, the other thing that's interesting too is one of the people who is from Japan who's trying to push this is a guy who is apparently part of the Japanese Communist Party. Now, why do they really have an interest in supporting this game? I really don't know what their interest is, but supposedly rumor is the Japanese Communist Party is being funded and supported financially by Ubisoft, supposedly. And I can't confirm that. I don't have. It's again supposedly. So if you guys know 1000%, of course, tell me in the comment section. Anything that I talk about, if I make any mistakes, of course, tell me in the comment section. I always leave it open to discussion to you guys. But, and there goes my spiky bit. This just does not want to snap on right. It falls off way too easy. Unless maybe I'm doing them backwards? Alrighty, my apologies, guys. So, yeah, I got this going. So, yeah, right now, anyway, Ubisoft's not looking good, like, at all. The new Assassin's Creed game is basically looking to fail as it is, so things are just not looking good for them. People are not happy, and like I said, it also seems like they may have stolen a lot of their artwork, too. Some of the wording, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, double-check my information here, but apparently, the words on a variety of buildings in the game, being that this takes place in Japan, well, they should have Japanese lettering. Supposedly, the artists that are working on this game messed up, and they confused Japanese letters with Chinese. Supposedly. Also, a number of pieces of artwork seem to have been a culmination of other people's work put together. Now, as for the artwork aspect, of course, correct me in the comment section, but that was an allegation that was going around as well. The individual who wrote that book that basically, if you want to say triggered all this nonsense at first, I think they've just kind of gone ghost, like they're hiding now just because they don't want to be in the middle of it, because they got caught in the lie, let's be honest. They got caught in the lie. This guy presented himself as some kind of expert on Japanese history, essentially, or something, and now he's looking like a major idiot, so he's trying to hide. So that's basically what's going on. And also, to be fair, the Japanese are pretty pissed, to say the least. Every time something of theirs comes to the West, people of a particular political belief, we'll say, have to go ahead and ruin it, and they're not happy about that. What was it? Just for a couple examples real quick. There was, I believe, Cowboy Bebop, I believe was the anime that went live action on Netflix. Again, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. But Cowboy Bebop went political. Japanese were pissed about that. Then there was the Resident Evil Netflix series. Went woke. They weren't happy about that. The Japanese were pissed. Now there's this going on, and they're pissed about this too, which is understandable. Not only that, but you have companies like Crunchyroll who do misrepresent Japanese media, essentially. I don't remember the name of the anime, but Crunchyroll does insert politics into their translations. So, for example, what was it? Again, I don't remember the name of the anime, but there was this anime character, this lady that had like dragon horns and big boobs, because go figure, Japan. But she normally dresses in the show very scandalous, I believe. She's not someone who often covers herself up. So at one point in the anime, she decides to dress a little bit more conservatively, a little more covered. So when one of her friends asks her about it, they're like, "Hey, so why are you changing your style? You don't normally dress like this." In Japanese, she's supposed to say something along the lines of, "I felt very uncomfortable the way everyone was looking at me." Alternatively, in the English version, when it's translated, she says that she didn't want to, I believe the wording was comply with patriarchal norms. And the person who's in charge of these translations claimed that it was the same translation, is the same exact thing, and there's nothing wrong with anybody who had a problem with it. That's their problem, essentially. Basically, screw you for having a problem with the way we translate things, even though it's definitely not the same thing. There was another anime that I picked up on. I'm not sure if entirely it's. I don't know if it is a different translation or not. I got to look at the Japanese version of it just to see. So again, if you know, tell me in the comment section. The anime was Love After World Domination, and the two main protagonists, they're hiding. They're basically being, just typical cutesy couple, whatever. And because they're at school, there's not supposed to be any kind of, I guess, public display of affection, I guess. So in English, again, I don't know if the Japanese had it different. To be perfectly honest with you, they probably did, but I don't know. I never watch my anime in Japanese because usually I have it on the side. But anyway, this one character decides to burst in saying something to the effect of "she smells heterosexuality." It's just a weird choice of words, and it almost seems like it's implying that there's something wrong with it in a way. It's the implication of it. That's the way I look at it. So I wouldn't doubt that there's another forced translation. Of course, if you guys know, tell me in the comment section. But it's things like this that are pissing off the Japanese, and they're getting tired of it. Essentially, we're taking their works of art, and we're bastardizing it to fit our politics. And for lack of a better word, they're not happy. So when all this broke with Ubisoft, you could almost say that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, I believe those in Japan are actually pushing their government to start investigating Ubisoft. Start investigating them and actually start pressing on them. Hell, I think they're even trying to call for a ban of the new Assassin's Creed game in Japan. I believe so. But again, tell me in the comment section if I'm wrong. But I know for a fact the Japanese are pissed. They are fuming right now. And understandably so. And I'm confused because apparently I'm supposed to just... I guess I'm supposed to just snap these together? Doesn't seem right, but okay. Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. But yeah, tell me in the comment section what you guys think of this all so far. If you do happen to come across the new, or the build of Advanced Warfare that was nicknamed Phantoms, would you have preferred that version of Call of Duty over what we got for Advanced Warfare? And also, do you think that everything going on with Ubisoft is right? Do you think that it's right for them to go after the CEO? Do you think that this might change the gaming industry, hopefully for the better? Or do you think... do you think the Japanese pushback is going to actually make any difference? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section, of course. I guess the other story I have for you, too, speaking of Japan, Sony's PS5 Pro finally got announced. Now, before I get into it, I want to take you guys back to the past, when the PS4 Pro got announced, or when it was released. The PS4 Pro was a system in and of itself. What you expected is what you got. You got the disk drive, you got all the bells and whistles, you got a controller, and it retailed for about $500. At that point, the PS4 Slim and the standard PS4 dropped in price. I want to say the Slim at this point now would have been $300. Well, PS5 Pro got announced, and lo and behold, it's $700. $700 plus the fact that they don't come with a disk drive either. So when you buy the PS5 Pro, it is going to be an all-digital system. But I know what you're probably thinking. Well, that sucks. Then how do I play my disc games that I have if it's all digital? Oh, see, there you go, guys. Don't worry about it, because Sony has thought of that. If you don't want an all-digital system, all you guys have to do is, for the low price of just $80, buy an external hard drive. I'm sorry, an external disk drive for the system. Furthermore, if you were expecting to get some kind of kickstand for the system, like what the standard PS5 comes with, in a nice way, Sony kind of said, screw you, and they're charging an additional $30 for the stand. So if you want a complete PS5, you need to pay roughly about $800 for a PS5 Pro specifically. And people are basically now saying that, alright, well, might as well just buy a gaming PC at that point. You're almost there, you might as well throw in the extra few bucks and just get a gaming PC. So, yeah, people naturally are just not happy with the PS5 Pro's announcement. And in my opinion, if you want something more reliable than PS5 Pro, I tell you get a Steam Deck. Get a Steam Deck. I would say get the 500 gig model. Get the OLED, so you have all your games, or most of your games available to you. And then go on Amazon and buy yourself a 2 terabyte internal drive and a 1 terabyte SD card. Maybe you're paying about $700 to $900 in that ballpark. But you know what? You have your games on the go. You don't always require internet to use them unless it's required for the game itself. Though you do need some internet connection in order to stay logged in, because sometimes Steam, I can't speak. Steam needs to be able to verify your account to make sure that you're you. So, just trying to see how this goes. Okay. So, if that is all good with you, on top of that, you could do what I'm not encouraging you to do, but You could also emulate games on your Steam Deck. So you can turn your Steam Deck into not only your portable PC, but your portable Xbox, your PlayStation, your Switch. So you can basically have 12 systems in one, essentially, plus 3 terabytes of storage, roughly for the same price as a PS5 Pro at max. So my question, especially to Sony, is why would we not just do that? If I can effectively build a portable machine better than the machine they're selling us, why wouldn't I? So yeah, in my personal opinion, I definitely think the PS5 Pro is kind of a disappointment. And also too, people are saying that the actual changes between the 5 Pro and the standard 5 are marginal at best. I mean, you know what though? Here's the thing. And I'm gonna say this: the gaming community shot themselves in the foot. We gamers shot ourselves in the foot when it came down to the PS5. We could have easily gotten maybe another 2 or 3 years out of the PS4. We did not need a whole new college. We did not need a whole new console generation. It wasn't necessary. It really wasn't. So, I think I screwed up. Or this is meant for one and the other because there's no other A tray. So I'm going to just take both of them and hope for the best. I might have screwed up. But yeah, we really did not need the 5 yet. Because hardware just it doesn't move forward fast enough, to say the least. To justify a whole new console, it doesn't really move that fast. What the hell is that? Oh! That's another piece that I totally missed. Okay, give me a minute. Let me figure out where the hell this thing is. I didn't even see that. Uh-oh. Oh dear God, I'm knocking everything over. Okay, I got it. I found the piece. So what we're supposed to do with this big weird thing, there we go, and then we take this thingamabib, and what the hell did I say? Thingamabib? Okay, anyway, I think I'm going nuts. There we go, I think we're getting it now. But anyway, so yeah, I very much just feel like we screwed up. I think we screwed up because the thing is, I think even Sony said that they had no real intentions of releasing a PS5 yet, but because there was such a high demand for it, they were like, screw it. People want it, we'll make it. And they did, and now here we are in the hole that we're in, which Sony's like, cool, people just spend money because we tell them to effectively. But yeah, that's kind of the situation that we're in now. So, I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion. I think indie games are going to keep the gaming industry alive, but don't expect Sony, PlayStation, Ubisoft, don't expect them to be around much longer. I think there's going to be a major AAA crash. So I think we're going to have another great gaming depression, essentially. But instead of it being kind of like what we saw back in the day when all these game companies literally just came crumbling down, rather than that being the situation, what we're probably going to see is AAA die, Xbox, Remedy, Ubisoft, Blizzard, Activision, these companies are just going to go down. They're just going to collapse. And the only thing that's going to keep the gaming industry alive, keeping our beloved hobby alive, is indie games. And as indie games become more popular, and I become stupider. Wait, no, this is right. Was there another one of these? There's no other A tray, though. Wait. Hold on, the gears are working. I had it upside down. I'm an idiot. Anyway, me being stupid, decide. I think what's going to end up happening is AAA is going to die. The industry is going to lose a tremendous amount of money, and some people are going to stop investing in gaming because they're just going to see it like, all right, look, we invested last time, and the whole thing just came tumbling down. So we're going to just step away. Though I do think there's going to be still some interest and hope in the industry, and that's going to be from indie developers. So companies, investors and whatnot are going to probably give it another shot and trust indies, and those indies will inevitably become AAA, and we'll see what happens from there. Maybe they will keep to the old principles of gaming, which is whatever you pay for is what you get. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg for something stupid like a friggin' character pack or not even character packs. Cosmetics are fine. Because it's definitely that little thing that I think most people are okay with. Like, me personally, I'm okay with a game selling, like, character-based content, just more so like, oh, hey, you wanna look like a dinosaur in the Middle East, go right ahead, have fun, here's, $5. But you don't need it to actually play the game. And honestly, I think a lot of gamers are okay with that, because it's not required content, it doesn't separate you from your friends, it doesn't prevent you from playing the game, so what's the harm in it, honestly? So with that said, I think indie games are going to learn from that. I think indie developers, and so far, in my opinion, I definitely see the rise of indie. I definitely see it. Look at games like Kingmakers. What's that other one? The Forever Winter, right? These are small developer teams that are making games that are damn near AA or AAA, or seem to be. Same kind of production value. But there's a lot more hype behind them. A lot more hope, too. So, with that said, I think AAA is going to die and indie is going to be what comes out and actually makes the difference. My opinion. Now, what I'm trying to do is figure out where these pieces go. I don't think these... Oh, there's another piece that goes over this. Oh, that's why it looks weird. Oh. I'm not supposed to snap that in yet. That's not till later. I need D, B, and... Okay, so D is right here. These are my D11, so I need a bunch of these. Anyway. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on right now. The Sony PS5 is stupidly overpriced. People are joking, saying, quoting, was it, I think, Captain Phillips? Basically posing as Sony saying, look at me. I am the scalper now. That's essentially what it is. People were scalping the hell out of those systems back during the lockdown, and now Sony is scalping their own system. Go figure, right? Funny how things work like that, because one thing, too, that I have to give some shit for, right? The reason why tech is so expensive nowadays is because we let it stay expensive. We don't complain. Developers say, hey, we're going to sell you a new graphics card at twice the price that the last graphics card was, produced at. And we're going to expect you to just take it in the bum and buy it. And us, the consumer, we're just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll take it. That's cool. You can just drill me like you've been the last couple of years. That's fine. That's cool. Realistically speaking, if we vote with our dollars and we start going for the cheaper pieces of tech, because at the end of the day, if we vote with our dollars, that will definitely change these industries. This will encourage these manufacturers to start selling at cheaper prices. Because if we're telling if we're telling Nvidia, PlayStation, and all these other companies, yeah, we're not paying your prices. It's as simple as that. We're gonna go for last year's model and save money because you're stupid. Essentially, if we attack their wallets and kind of turn the investors, I can't speak. If we turn their investors against them, they're gonna have no choice but to try to alter the market in a way that still makes them money but doesn't kill us in the process. So like I said, we need to find a way to vote with our dollars and basically turn the tables against these retailers, these manufacturers. Okay, that actually, I think these are like smoke grenades essentially on the side. That actually looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, that came out nice. I remember someone telling me when I first got this kit, or was getting the kit, a couple of years ago, this when I was still at GameStop. He was telling me, oh, that kit's such a pain in the ass. Doesn't work right. It can't stand on its own weight. And I'm like, okay, well, so far it looks really friggin' cool. So I don't know what crack he was smoking. But yeah, all in all, I definitely think there's going to be a major change going forward for the gaming market. And honestly, it's needed. These companies need a foot in the ass, and we need to remind them that, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, these companies don't exist without their consumers. And if they're going to keep trying to screw their consumers over, like Ubisoft telling people, oh yeah, gotta get used to the idea of not owning your products, Well, yeah, you're also gonna have to get used to not making money. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I'm very much firmly, because of crap like this, I'm firmly in the belief that gamers should start emulating more, backing up your games. If you buy your games digitally, and you can, if you're on PC, back them up. Just back them up. Because then in the event that for some reason these companies want to say, oh, sorry, we're pulling them from your library, you can't own this anymore. Well, screw you, I have a backup. So I still own my game. I paid for it, I'm going to use it. Now, if it's an online only game, you're screwed. There's no saving that. But back up your games, 1000%. Just, you paid for it. You should be able to use it. That's like I said. That's why I'm firmly in the I'm firmly in the belief of emulation. I see nothing wrong with it personally, especially if you paid for it. By the way, for those of you who do emulation, if you do PS3 emulation, and I hope this helps because I had this issue myself. I came in contact with a file I've never seen before for a ROM. Never seen it before. Have no idea what it is exactly. It's an so when you're downloading ROMs for game consoles, usually they come packaged as a what's the word? As a zip file. Normally it's a zip. This one file that I have no idea what it is because I've never seen this before. It was some kind of application file, not a zip. It should be a zip file because for PS3 specifically, they're going to be like entire game files that are archived into a zip. It's just to help compress the file and just kind of make it a little bit smaller for storage sake. But I digress. For some reason I cannot explain to you why, this file, it was weird. It had like a, I don't know, like the logo on it, on the front of it, or not on the front, but like at the end of the application, because sometimes they have an icon to identify what it is. Like if it's a zip file, it's literally just that. It looks like a zipped up folder. This file, on the other hand, it looked like a Java cup, essentially. So I was thinking, I'm like, okay, did I accidentally download like a JavaScript or something? So, not wanting to blow up my actual computer, I loaded the file up onto my crap top. Loaded it up. And what ends up coming up is this like loading bar, and it says KindSoft. Looked it up, and I couldn't find anything. I saw KingSoft. I saw other stuff similar, but not the same. I didn't find any KindSoft. I'm like, I don't know what company this is. I've never heard of a KindSoft file. So I don't know what the hell it is. To be honest with you, I don't know what it is. It seems like it's maybe some kind of alternative to zip. So rather than you needing like WinRAR or something to unzip a file, you just run the application and unzips itself. That's what I assume, but I have no idea. And if anybody knows, tell me in the comment section if you've ever run into that. But I have never dealt with a file like that before. It was weird. Even talking to Danny, his first thought was it was a virus. So naturally, my paranoia was there, which is why I loaded it onto my crap top to see what it would do. Now, I also reached out to the Discord for RPCS3, and they gave me the finger, apparently asking about ROM files, or asking about them, like, hey, I don't know if this is a normal file or not, I don't know if I did something, is this a virus, does anybody know what this thing is? Apparently that goes against their rules, apparently it's asking for help with pirated content, and that's against their rules. Even though it was just, hey, have you ever seen this file type before? Yeah. So that was fun. To be honest with you, I have half a mind. Not that I have a half a mind. It's not gonna, like, what is it gonna really do, I guess? I've been thinking about opening up the Guilded server as a kind of like as a help for gamers, especially people that want to get into emulation. I am confused about this piece. Oh, that's what this is! Oh, that is so cool! It's the missiles! Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Oh, there it goes. Bye! But no, I get what this is now. That's so freaking cool. I love that. I do have to trim it, though, because it's not fitting right. There we go. I think it's good now. But yeah, it was a very weird file. I did end up finding a package file. Specifically, for those of you curious, I was trying to get House of the Dead 4 for the PS3. And if you can't find a normal zip file for it, an alternative is package files. They should come with two types of files, a package and something else. I can't remember the name of it, but it should be just two files. Even if it's weirdly named, it'll be a package and it'll be something else, like a bin file maybe, or a run file, something like that. Again, I don't remember exactly. But on the emulator itself, you can go ahead and you can install package files. But you're not going to be able to install the game until, or run the game, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to run the game until you have the other file installed. Like, again, I can't remember if it's bin or if it's run or something like that. It was some kind of file type that I don't remember what it was because I don't regularly play with those. But so long as you install both of those to your RPCS3, it should only take you like a few seconds to a minute or two, roughly. It will technically install the game to your RPCS. In a sense, it's installed, but it's not really installed. That makes sense. But it will let you play the game without having to run the file directly, like how you do other emulators. So I screwed up and I got the wrong pieces out, so I had to kind of stash them away and hope that I can recover from that because I'm an idiot. Anyway, so one thing I've noticed within the emulation community that I don't really understand is for some reason you have those who are like whatever about it, like you do you man, download your games, have fun. But then you have others that for some strange absurd reason I can't really understand why. They're almost like Puritans. Like, how dare you download games? You should buy all of them. Like, okay, cool, but where am I going to buy PS3, PS2 games at reasonable prices? At this point, the only people you're going to be buying old games from are scalpers. So, if I wanted to, say, play Ape Escape, right? Who the hell am I buying it from if not a scalper? Sony's not making money on that anymore. Nope, sure, maybe they have streaming services. Sure. But again, that requires internet connection. Let's be honest, most of us just want to play our games and call it a day. We don't want to have to connect to some server in order to play a game from the early 2000s. On top of that, too, my experience with Sony's streaming service wasn't that good. So why would I not want to download it, effectively own it, to the point where not even Sony can take it away from me, and I could play it whenever, with or without internet. So long as I have power, I can play my games. Like, I can play old games and make the system think that I'm actually online. So even if the game requires internet connection, I can BS it and make it like, yeah, I'm totally online. Yeah, yeah. Don't judge. Totally online. But, yeah, for some reason there are these weird Puritans where it's like, if you kind of tell people like, yeah, so I have downloaded games. How dare you? It's very strange and I really don't get it. Like, who cares? That's the way I look at it. Oh, I see what they want me to do here. Okay. Again, weird. I definitely feel like some of this kit is filler. Like, these pieces could have come together, but for some reason you, the builder, have to put them together? I don't know why. Like, just some of these are just stupid. But yeah, as we go forward, games are honestly getting crappier for one reason or another. If it's not developer greed, if it's honestly, I think too, and I know people are gonna hate hearing this. I feel like to some degree, the internet has made AAA developers lazy. I believe to some degree, AAA developers are lazier, and not lazy in the sense that they're not doing their jobs or running these crazy crunch times or anything like that. But it's given them the opportunity to be like, you know what? We'll just work on it at a patch fix later. We'll send you the rest of the game later. Need I remind you of the event that occurred with Cyberpunk? It just feels like the developers have this, like especially investors have this out to be like, you know what? You're not getting your full game today. We'll give it to you later when we feel like it. Now, obviously not when we feel like it, but more so when they're able to actually get it out. But that means now I paid you 60 upwards to $80, and I'm not even really able to play my game right now. So at that point, I pre-ordered a game that, even though it's early access, once I pay for it, I can't refund it if it's past a certain point. So unless the developers are willing to get companies like Steam and PlayStation to give refunds, like what happened with Cyberpunk, where things were just so bad, they were like, listen, if you have it on PS4 or Xbox One, just refund it, we'll accept it. So they were nice enough to do that. I will give them credit, they were nice enough to do that. But why again should we, the gamers, pay money for a game only to find out that there's something wrong with it, and then have to bust the developer's balls into getting a refund? Because let's face it, if people just sat there with the hope of, you know what, they'll eventually fix it, eventually, and we didn't, and we just all sat there and waited, what's to say that they wouldn't have ever actually fixed the game? In turn, if we didn't complain, what's to say that other companies didn't take note and go, oh, we don't have to fix our games, people just buy them anyway, so let's not fix them, because nobody cares enough. And I definitely think that would have, as a whole, ended up hurting the gaming community significantly more. So, again, when it comes down to gaming and whatnot, those are just my thoughts. I'm an old gamer, sort of. I'm 28, but I played, my first console was the NES. My first handheld was the Game Boy Color. And then my first real console, like that I owned, because I remember playing on the Genesis. I played on the N64 as a kid. I had, like I said, the GameCube. Like I said, I'm an old-time gamer, and I played those old consoles. I made sure that when I stopped playing those consoles, I handed them off to my little brother. I did not let him, I got kind of pushed against my parents. I'm like, no, don't buy him a new console. Don't buy him the Wii U. Don't buy him the Switch yet. Granted, I mean, me having him play these games was before those consoles, but I digress. And he did eventually get those consoles, but I made sure he played the old games first. It's because I wanted him to grow up knowing what gaming was, so he'd actually have some appreciation for it as a gamer. So when games come out and they become shittier, he at least knows, yeah, this isn't what gaming was. This isn't what it was, and this is honestly what it should never have been. It's been bastardized, essentially, to say the least. That's how that goes. Okay, cool. But, yeah, tell me in the comment section what you guys think. Are you someone who's been playing games since you were younger and you remember a time when games were good? Do you think the industry isn't going to topple and they'll eventually pull their crap out of their rear end and, you know, fix themselves? Tell me in the comment section, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. As I always say, though, the things that I come up with, my videos, they are open for discussion. So if you have any ideas or counterpoints or anything that you do want to bring up, of course, please let me hear it. Other than that, one thing I did want to point out, going back to Ubisoft. So, Rainbow Six is a shell of its former self. For those of you who grew, essentially at this point, because plenty of you guys, younger guys, essentially grew up playing Siege, let me remind you of some of the greater titles, like Rainbow Six Vegas. The old Rainbow Six was a lot more focused on tactical, teamwork, this slow-paced, methodical, counter-terrorist operations. Now, what is Rainbow Six if not just a shitty operator game? I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but one of their new operators is this chick in a friggin' wheelchair. Like, the jokes running around right now are just, they're terrible, but they're friggin' great. People saying, like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do, just roll around? Her worst enemy is gonna be the staircase. Now, granted, yes, you're not really playing as her. It's more so that you're just moving her around the field and she's operating drones. But then at that point, if we're using drones, then just give us the damn drones. What the hell is the point of her? It just feels very... It feels like this real big push by Ubisoft to force inclusion. And let's face it, in reality, I can't speak, I apologize. In reality, the military nor the police are going to put somebody who's crippled like that, like who's in a wheelchair, on the front line of combat. It's just never going to happen. You're not going to have someone who can't walk in the middle of a firefight, unless it's unfortunately that the base that they're working at behind their desk ends up coming under like attacks under an attack by terrorists, then it's a different story. Then they might have to actually fight for their lives. That's neither here nor there. So, with that said, yeah, Ubisoft is just getting absolutely roasted for this new character. Essentially, the premise of this character is that they're just some chick in a wheelchair who operates robots effectively. But like I said, I just feel like it's irrelevant. And this takes away so much from what Rainbow Six used to be, and it's the reason why games like Ready or Not are so successful. It's because we're tired of the bullshit. We're tired of this, I don't know, this really focus on competitive multiplayer. Because rather than keeping to what Rainbow Six used to be, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with having a competitive shooter. I don't see anything wrong with that. But I say, keep to what you're good at. Some are saying that the new Rainbow Six, or Rainbow Six Siege, it's a lot more Rainbow and a lot less Tom Clancy. So, there's a reason why I haven't played that game since 2018. I gave up on that long ago. Because on top of that too, for some reason, the gaming community, some games like Rainbow Six, some of their gamers are just salty as hell. I've seen my fair share of just people being douchebags just because, like, you didn't get to the point in time, or you just didn't do what the other guy wanted you to do, so, you know, oh, you suck, kind of thing. So, really annoying. Doesn't really make you want to keep playing the game. But, I mean, yeah, shitheads are going to be in games. It is just what it is. You are backwards, I think. Am I doing everything right here? Oh, this is the thigh. It took me almost an hour just to build this. Oh, don't tell me this is gonna be this bullshit. Oh, there we go. Like, it's gonna give me that nonsense again. Yeah, so this would be like his. So. Yeah, this is part of the leg, so it's gonna go like this. That's really cool. I like that. I'm not sure if there's a way to get these to go down. I don't remember if those ever moved. But you have this, and then these can be popped up. If they want to pop up. Like, this one's really in there, and I don't know why. But, yeah. You have your missile launchers on the feet. I think that's really coming out nice. Alright, so there you go. Those are currently the feet at the moment. It's really starting to come along at this point. So all I need to do is build the body of itself, the head, and the weapons. So it is looking nice. It is. I gotta look into possibly painting this damn thing, 'cause I have no idea how to paint. As I mentioned in the comment section, in the comments. I don't talk in the comment section. If I did, that would be dangerous. I'll explain that in a minute. But I don't know how to paint, so what I might do is I may go ahead and... Oh, wait. Oh, this is the other... Okay, so we literally just skipped over all of this shit. I have a garbage can over and trying to shake off all the little crumbs and whatnot from this. But I've been looking into like markers for kits like this because I know like the Gundams, you can do that. You can like kind of marker them essentially. So now we're actually working on the body and head, it seems, or we might just be working on the head next because this was all the feet. So we're done with Rex's feet at this point. So these are finished. I don't know if Rex is going to want to cooperate and stand like the way he should. Though I think what I have to do is, if I remember correctly, this does not encourage his balancing. There we go. There you go, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So, the head. So now what we need is a bunch of these. Crap. There are a lot of tiny pieces, too. Alright, so I got all my little pieces together for this. We're going to start working on Rex's head. One thing I noticed with his headpiece, which I really love, they actually put stickers on it for me, so this might already come stickered, which is awesome. So we get our 14, I think this is. That goes there. This is going to flip around and go into here. Looks like it wants it up like this. For some reason that I don't really understand why, but okay. I am confuzzled. I think this... Really? What the hell am I building right now? Oh. Yeah, that is strangely correct. Okay, so for some reason, it's supposed to look like this. So... Now, So there's a couple of reasons why I talk in these videos. For one, use it as a timestamp so I know what parts do I have to cut out. The other purpose, too, is I'm an idiot when it comes down to these things sometimes. So the way I see it is if you have any troubles building these kind of things yourself, and you kind of want to follow along and you just want someone to watch to see like what they do differently, that's kind of the idea, too. So if I do something wrong, at least it's me screwing it up and not you. Think like this. What the hell part am I building? I don't think we're on Rex's penis yet. Thought we did that, but no, I guess not. We were working on his feet. So this has to go somewhere that I have no idea where the hell we're putting it. Okay, so you... Okay, you go here. There we go. Then you have to go backwards. Up there. Got it. Okay. So this is part of his head. Come on. Get in there. Get in. Okay, what is missing? What's wrong? There we go. It's just being a pain in the ass right now. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I'm going to leave this one for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. This is what we have so far of his head, and we have the legs. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, enjoy his channel, content, and my general stupid crap, and also just my conversations with you guys. Any and all engagements you guys leave helps this channel to grow. Likes, dislikes, hitting the bell icon, and leaving comments all help this channel with the algorithm, allowing us to get to new users, allowing our community and our channel to grow. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, and I appreciate your help. If you want to come hang out with us and have not done so already, feel free to join our Discord. Everyone's welcome. Pop right in, say hey. If you have questions about emulation, tech, gaming, or you just want to try to see if you can find new people to game with, come pop in and say hey and see who you can find. But with that all said, guys, I will see you on the next one. Thank you everyone so much. If you would, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. Otherwise, feel free to just say hey. But I'll see you around, guys. Thank you everyone so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great night. See you later.